And getting away from last on the grid today is Lorenzo Castillo in the Formula Campos entry. It's a 1 minute 44.520, places him last. Just alongside him in position 33 is Luis Carlos Perez, the new entry for GRS. Filippo Fiorentino gets away from 32nd position for Crown Motorsport, and just alongside him is Fernando Barrichello, ending the season rather miserably with a 10-place grid penalty. And I've just been made aware we had some sound issues at the start, so hello, welcome to the Circuit de Catalunya, just outside Barcelona. My name is Leo Gorman. We're just going through the grid quickly on this dummy lap before the start of this race. Castillo 34th, Perez 33rd, Fiorentino 32nd, Barrichello 31st with a 10-place grid penalty for 3 reprimands. Federico Arrafai gets away 30th for Rodin Carlin, a 1 minute 43.849, with Griffin Peebles starting 29th for Formula de Campeones. 28th, Isaac Bracci for GRS will get away from the 14th row of grid. He's got Maximiliano Restrepo for DriveX alongside him in 27th. Andreas Cardenas, disappointing, starts 26th in the Campos Racing machine with Luciano Morano alongside him in the Sainteloc Racing entry. 24th on the grid is Akshay Bora, MP Motorsport, new entry this weekend. Gabriel Gomez, another new entry for Crown Motorsport, gets away from 23rd on the grid, while Daniel Matzia, a veteran of Spanish Formula 4 at this stage, gets away from 22nd, while Lynn Hodinez in Molan Motorsport starts 21st with a 1 minute 42.743. 20th on the grid is Eric Genet from Formula de Campeones. 1 minute 42.688 puts him on the edge of the top 20, with Chiara Alazzari for MP Motorsport starting 19th. Flavio Oliveri will get away from 18th on the grid for Crown Motorsport, while Alexander Amsakava starts 17th for DriveX. Theo Jensen is 16th with Juan Cota just ahead in 15th for DriveX. Alvis Reveo gets away from 14th for MP Motorsport, a 1 minute 42.250, doing the job for him, while Pablo Sarrazat will start 13th for Molan Motorsport. Yamakoshi gets away 12th on the grid for the highest running Technica Formula de Campeones entry. There's a 1 minute 42.114 for him, while Pedro Claro rounds out 11th place, just outside the top 10 for MP Motorsport, 1 minute 42.101. And into the top 10, Alex Ninovich for Rodin Cars gets away from that position with Jesse Carrasquado and Campos Racing starting 9th. Noah Lyle will start from 8th on the grid for Rodin Carlin, a 1 minute 42.074, while Matteo De Peo gets away from 7th on the grid for Campos Racing. Championship leader and potential champion Theophile Nael starts 6th, just behind Noah Stromstead, while Ricardo Grazia starts 4th, Valerio Onichella 3rd, Enzo Deligny left on side of the grid in the Red Bull colours starts 2nd, while Christian Ho gets his 5th pole position of the season, starting on the right hand side in the white and black entry. And we are about to go for this first race, 30 minutes plus 1 lap, and the lights will count down, and we are ready to go eventually. It's a long hold, as the back of the field just only pulling into position now. And the engines do rise. The flag marshal at the back waves, the revs rise even further. And the first race of the weekend starts. And it's a solid start by Christian Ho, but it looks like it may be a little bit of a better start by Enzo Deligny. Rinachella was a bit of a sluggish away, and I think he may be under pressure from both Theophile Nael and Ricardo Grazia. And I think Noah Lyle trying to make a run through on the inside of turn 1. Oh, several cars going off in the first corner. And we see Theophile Nael is up into 5th position. Now, what I can tell you, Christian Ho getting his 5th pole position of the season gave him 2 bonus points this morning, brought him up to a total of 216 points. Nael, the championship leader, with 281. The gap between them is 65 points, with 73 available, as we see Federico Arrafai off the circuit and rejoining, bringing lots and lots of gravel onto the circuit. The other drivers will be very thankful for that, I'm sure. But if Christian Ho wins this race, and he is 2nd in the championship at the moment, if he wins this race and gets the fastest lap, Theophile Nael really only needs a top 6 finish. There's another driver in the background. I think that may have been Pedro Claro going clean off the circuit. The exit of 9. And Claro has lost the position to Sarrazat because of that. as we're looking on screen now. 4th position, Theophile Nael. He's doing more than enough now to take the championship this race round. He could have actually won the championship in the final race of the last round in Jerez, but actually had an absolute shocker, finished 19th in the end. No points then, and so the championship did go to this weekend, but really very much an outside shot. Is Christian Ho and Enzo Deligny, and Valerio Rinnicella really on the outside. See several drivers diving for position into turn 1. Riccardo Grazia has lost a couple of positions on that first lap. He started 4th, dropped down to 5th, and now has lost another 2 positions on that opening lap. Christian Ho continuing to lead from Enzo Deligny, while Valerio Rinnicella is in 3rd position. That, of course, was also the top 3 runners. It was Ho and Deligny were the top 2 runners in FP1 yesterday, as we were watching Noah Lyle fight off Pedro Claro. Claro losing more positions since he's off a lap ago to Yamakoshi and Lyle. Disappointing opening lap, but it's maybe not necessarily the season that Claro was hoping for either. Started so brilliantly at Spa-Francorchamps at the beginning of the year, taking 2 wins and a 2nd place. And we have a driver off circuit, and that is Flavio Oliveri for Cram Motorsport. Now, is that a mechanical, or has he had an issue somewhere? You'll see the championship leader, Theophile Nael. And really, Nael only needs to sit there now. He doesn't need to do anything else, but it will be interesting to see if he will continue to challenge for the win to really wrap up the title in as glorious way as he possibly can, as I'm sure he wants to. But right now, Nael has got Stromstead half a second behind him, as the championship leader has fallen slightly away from Rinnicella. We will be keeping an eye on the situation with Oliveri. Juan Cota, by the way, has gone into the pits. So a little bit of supposition in my mind would make me believe there was an incident between Cota and Oliveri. Meanwhile, the safety car has been called. You can see on the screen. There's no way, it looks as if there's no way that Oliveri's car is going to be moved. He is near a marshal's post opening, so the car should be relatively quick, to clear. Unless, of course, it's had some serious damage that we've not really seen. It does make me wonder, maybe a little bit of a touch on the back. Possibly. Hopefully we'll get a replay. And we see the marshals at this traditional season-ending race. Is the start of the race, a replay. A little bit of a sluggish getaway from Rinnicella in 3rd place. He did rescue it by kind of diving to the right, blocking off Grazia, and that really brought Nael into play. Nael, who actually had overtaken Stromstead on the run down to turn 1 as well. Ho doing everything he needed to do to fight off Deligny going into turn 1. Deligny taking a bit of a narrow line into the opening corner. Nearly opened the window for Rinnicella, but it was very slight. And there we see Nael going through to take Grazia into the long right-hander in turn 3 and finishing off on the entry to 4. Very brave, well done. That's not necessarily a move you often make when you've got a title on the line, but really says a great deal about the confidence he has. As we see Oliveri's car very slowly being moved away, and I do wonder if it has maybe a little bit of damage somewhere, because it doesn't seem to roll. The marshals there, it doesn't seem to roll quite as well as it normally would if it were fresh out of the factory. These cars very much not fresh out of the factory. They've had a full season of high octane running. And a lot of laps, a lot of track time for these drivers. It'll be interesting to see how many will stay for another season. Several drivers here, of course, already on their second season of Spanish Formula 4. The likes of Runacella and Stromstedt and several others. And Nael, of course, technically, yes, he's on his second season of Spanish Formula 4, but he actually joined the championship halfway through last season, as did Sainteloc Racing, the team he's racing with. And it's been a wonderful experiment for Sainteloc Racing, who so previously were very, very, very well known for their exploits in GT racing, and have entered into the single-seater format. Just did Spanish Formula 4 last year as part of their single-seater running, but of course have joined other Formula 4 championships this season. And earlier on this year, also joined the Eurocup 3 Championship. It was a regional Formula 3 Championship that also runs with Spanish Formula 4, but they've joined that as well, running one car. And definitely a team that are looking to make their way up. And it was Dario Cabanelles that was actually running the Eurocup 3 car. For Sainteloc Racing. That was then, this is now. And Christian Ho is the race leader ahead of Enzo Deligny, Valerio Runacella. Now, while I am here and while I have the opportunity and a chance, I'll grab you all for a few moments and I'm going to run through a couple of changes. I'm not sure you heard me discuss these at the beginning of the race, but here we go. So a few changes this weekend for GRS. Gabriel Stilp is out of the seat in number 72C. He's been replaced by Luis Garcia Perez. While at MP Motorsport, Akshay Bora is in the number 61 machine as a new entry for this weekend, while Dominique De Decker is replacing Renault Franco in the number 66 MP Motorsport entry. On a Cram Motorsport, Gabriel Gomez has replaced Kai Darianani in the number 36 machine. So 4 debutant drivers in the category this weekend, getting some time in the car, and maybe we will see them next year. I can also tell you the safety car is coming in this lap, and that is the retiring Daniel Mazzia. Unfortunate for him. The Richard Mille Young Talent Academy was won by Matteo Canalni. He will be racing for MP Motorsport in Spanish Formula 4 next season. Congratulations to him, and we're looking forward to seeing how he gets on in the category. It's a wonderful academy it is, the Richard Mille Talent. But right now, this race is about to get going again. Enzo Deligny leaning on the back of Christian Ho. You've got Valerio Runacella there as well in the orange MP Motorsport machine. And Ho is really slowing this down. Nael there, 4th place. And Ho puts his foot on the floor and accelerates away through the last couple of corners. But can Deligny keep close enough to Ho to challenge the Campos entry into turn 1 coming down the start-finish straight? It does look as if Runacella is actually closer to Deligny than Deligny is to Christian Ho. The green lights are on, and Ho, I think, has enough of an advantage, but Runacella, I can imagine, is going to try and dive through. Deligny defends slightly. Nael defending from Stromstedt into turn 1. Stromstedt on the outside had to think about it, but then had a rethink. But he is pressing very, very hard to get 4th position back. Stromstedt chasing Nael through the long right-hander in 3. Then it's going to be a short shoot down into the right-hander in turn 4. Runacella not trying, and Stromstedt not trying either, but I do believe that was Noah Lyle in the background, possibly having a go at Hiyu Yamakoshi for 9th place. And a bit of dust kicked up in the background too. And there is Rinnicella going on the inside of Deligny. Side by side into turn 5, the Seat corner. Fantastic move. Wonderful, well done. Into second place. Got down the inside and forced the issue. Made sure Deligny really ran out of road. Now Deligny under pressure from Noah Lyle. Oh, sorry, not Noah Lyle McKinnon. My driver's mixed up. This is Theophile Nael in turn 4, the championship leader. Getting a draft coming down the back straight. Deligny defends, goes to the inside and runs slightly wide. Very wide, in fact. Nael keeps the inside, but will he get the position? Not quite, as they go wheel to wheel around the left-hander in the back end of the circuit, almost bumping wheels. And Nael has done it. That is absolutely fantastic. A wonderful overtake there from Theophile Nael, and this is brave and audacious from Rinnicella. Saw a little bit of a gap down the inside. And really surprised Deligny, I think. And that's really put Deligny off for that rest of that lap. And so, Christian Ho, not minding any of this. He's out in the lead. As we see a rescue truck in the background. And meanwhile, Christian Ho continuing to lead this race. And that is Deligny, was running in second place. Now down in fourth. He'll be desperately disappointed, but he'll hoping to get something back. If Ho wants to take this championship into race 2, the rest of the weekend, he really needs Nael to have an absolute nightmare from here and possibly finish from to 7th to below. But right now, that definitely does not seem like that's going to happen. Although, must admit, Nael, he's with Riccardo Grazia on the opening lap. And, that is Kiana Alazzari having a go at Pablo Sarrazin. Very neat. This is Nael, and this is a move that really took 2.5 corners. And absolute bravery from both drivers. And could very easily have let Noah Stromstad through to take both positions. And that is a replay of Rinnicella taking Deligny. Two wonderful overtakes in a lap. But it is Christian Ho leading this race, 1.3 seconds ahead of Valerio Rinnicella. We are halfway through this race. Theophile Nael in third position and on his way to the Spanish Formula 4 Championship title at this rate. Stromstad in 5th position, looking to challenge Enzo Deligny, who just lost a couple of positions. Gaps really half a second at this stage. Matteo De Peo running in 6th position. Really haven't said much about him so far this weekend. He's currently running 5th in the standings. He's got a 4-point gap over Pedro Claro, and that's going to increase significantly with this race. But he's also at the same time far too far behind Rinnicella in the standings. To make any dent there. And we're looking at Rinnicella on screen. Secured his best lap of the race last time round, 1:42.682. But the fastest driver outright at the moment is Christian Ho. Actually, no, scratch that. Rinnicella crosses the line and sets a new fastest lap of the race at 1:42.392. It does have to be said, though, the Ho and Deligny qualifying on the front row of the grid. Their times in qualifying, they were streets ahead of the rest of the field, effectively half a second, 0.4 of a second a lap ahead of third place for Rinnicella. But come the race, Rinnicella has made it stick so far. Only Christian Ho ahead of him. As you see, Noah Stromstead. He's still got that gap of just over half a second to Deligny. DePeo's just behind him, 1.4 seconds adrift. It's not really going to do much to him at this point. And DePeo probably keeping an eye on Riccardo Grazia and Hio Yamakoshi. And Noah Lyle just behind in 8th, 9th, and 7th, 8th, 9th positions respectively. Pedro Sarrazin is rounding out the top 10 with Keanu Alazzari and Lynn Herdinez 11th and 12th positions. Enzo Deligny may be disappointed, by the way, with 4th position, but right now he is leading the rookie standings in this race. And that is, he's got a 9-point advantage in that over Matteo DePeo. So really hoping to solidify that, hopefully by the end of tomorrow morning's short race. As we watch Christian Ho. He's taken 2 wins so far this season. Had 8 podiums from his 5 pole positions. Also scored 3 fastest laps. And realistically, we've had Theophile Nael, who's got 8 wins so far this season. And pretty much all the other drivers who have won races, they've won 1 or 2 races. No one really has been quite as consistent, particularly in the middle of the season. But Nael just hit a run of form that really put a stamp on this championship. It was quite tight until maybe the 2nd or 3rd round. And very, very quickly, Nael, the Sainteloc Racing driver, built a significant points gap. And no one's really pulled it in since. On screen now, that is Yamakoshi, 8th place, chasing down Riccardo Grazia for 7th position. "11 laps in the bag. And another fastest lap, this time for Christian Ho, is a 1:42.131. Rinnicella is setting relatively close times, and he's only a couple of hundredths of a second off of that. Of course, all these bonus points are important, but with Theophile Nael running in 3rd position, it matters not for the title, but if nothing else, Ho will be wanting to absolutely solidify 2nd in the standings, which is really very, very close actually. Ho on 216 points, ahead of Deligny, who's on 213, and Rinnicella on 211. We have a driver coming into the pits. It's Alex Ninovich with no front wing. So he's had an incident somewhere along the line. Not seen any other drivers coming into the pits yet with any other representative damage. Not seen any other drivers off the circuit either, so and it really is pretty much to and fro between Christian Ho and Valerio Rinnicella. Ho's not pushing overly hard. He doesn't need to. He's happy to keep that gap at 1.1 seconds, 1.2 seconds. It's all he needs to ensure Rinnicella's charge is kept at bay. Theophile Nael is 1.8 seconds behind Rinnicella. And with Deligny is 2nd behind Nael, the top 3 are relatively solid in this race. But as it stands now, we will most likely be seeing a champion on the podium at the end of this race. And Nael really has stepped up this season. You could see he was a far more mature driver. The speed was there. We knew the speed was there, but the maturity was coming. So, as mentioned, we came into this weekend, Theophile Nael with point standings of 281 to Christian Ho's 214. Ho got pole position, so that brought him up to 216. Deligny on 213, Minicella on 211. And if Ho wins this race and gets the fastest lap, he would have needed Theophile Nael to be 7th or lower to ensure that the race could be taken into, or see if the title could be taken into the next race. Right now, Theophile Nael is running in 3rd. He had a confident start. He started 6th, was up to 5th on a start-finish straight, then 4th by turn 3. And several laps to go, he took Enzo Deligny to make it P3. And so Nael is very much on his way to his first car racing title. As Matteo De Peo running 6th overall, 2nd in the rookie race and also the rookie standings as well. It's going to lose out several points to Deligny, who is the 4th overall, but leading the rookie race, as it were. This is the battle now for 7th, 8th and 9th positions. It's been going on for several laps. Riccardo Grazia, who has shown some improvement actually in the last few rounds. His qualifying has definitely stepped up significantly. It looks as if he's finally found something to kind of unlock qualifying, but he's lost a few positions in the opening laps of this race and starts 7th. His racecraft is coming together, but it still needs, I think it's fair to say, still needs some work, but he's definitely an improved driver compared to where he was at the start of the year. In the start of the year, he was barely anywhere near the points, and now another weekend, he's running 7th. A very, very good, very solid effort. And remember, let's not forget, championships like this, like Spanish Formula 4, are there for drivers who want to learn. They are there for drivers who want to get experience, who want to get on the racetrack and eventually move up the ladder towards Formula 1. But not everyone is going to jump into a race car and be on it immediately. You need track time to really make it work, and we're going to see a challenge now from Yamakoshi. He's not going to try there. Yamakoshi biding his time. He better not bide his time too much. And I do wonder maybe if ever so slightly Grazia is beginning to struggle a smidgen, as we see Luciano Morano overtake Jesse Carrasquero. That is over 24th and 25th positions. I wonder if Grazia is maybe beginning to struggle ever so slightly with his tyres and is allowing Yamakoshi to get a closer run on. But it's a surprise that Yamakoshi didn't even really attempt to make too much of a move there. It's not just about overtaking the drivers in front. You can also distract them, put them off, get them to make a mistake, to make overtaking them easier. As we see Christian Ho continuing to lead this race. The pace at the front is actually drawn. We have a driver in the gravel. Can't quite tell. That is the number 37. That is Filippo Fiorentino. Did not see exactly who the other car was. I'm sure we will in a few moments' time. Now, you're not going to get out of that, Filippo. That car is beached. And I do wonder if this will bring the safety car out to finish this race. It's 3 minutes and 45 seconds plus 1 lap remaining, so let's say 5 minutes. It will be a challenge to say the least. For a safety car period to start and to get any kind of green lap running in. As we see, Christian Ho, race leader. He's got a gap of just a second over Rinicella, but as mentioned before, he does not look concerned. He does not look troubled in any way, shape or form. He is cool. He is calm. Just taking off the laps, taking off the time, doing his utmost to carve a very, very good result from this race. He will lose the championship, but he would have also known that the championship coming into this weekend was an incredible long shot. We'll just see someone's front ring buried in the gravel on the outside there. But it was always a long shot. It would have required Theophile Nael to have a complete collapse this weekend for Ho, Deligny and Rinicella to have any chance of the title. But now the fight is very much on for second in the points. And Ho, he'll be facing off that driver right behind him in the orange MP Motorsport machine, the number 55, Valerio Rinicella. And Rinicella, to a degree, might look at this and think we could have been closer, much closer to Nael this season. He's had a number of times where maybe he's qualified really well and the result hasn't been there. Of course, he crossed the line to win race 3 in Spa-Francorchamps at the beginning of the year, but then received a 5-second penalty for overtaking around track limits. But of course, because it was actually on the restart of a safety car, that meant he dropped down to 12th place. Red flag. Red flag has been called, and a session will not restart. And Theophile Nael is your 2023 Spanish Formula 4 champion. And I do wonder if that is been called for the stricken Filippo Fiorentino. Is the option really? Probably couldn't really keep running the race with the car stranded like that, but if you brought out the safety car, it just would have ended under the safety car. So the red flag has come out, and Christian Ho is the winner of this race, and Theophile Nael is the 2023 Spanish Formula 4 champion. There have been time penalties applied for Eric Genet, Federico Al-Rafai, and one other, Max Restrepo. Both of them have had 2-second time penalties for track limits. Not that it will matter to those celebrating in Parc Fermé. You see Christian Ho out of the car, standing on his chassis, and now jumping down to celebrate with his mechanics, his colleagues, his friends, his family. Rinicella taking second place, and he's getting out of his car on the right-hand side there in Parc Fermé. And we should see Theophile Nael. And here he is, the championship winner. And congratulations. The young Frenchman racing under a Spanish license. Success. 8 wins. This is his 5th of the podium of the season. He's had 3 pole positions and 5 fastest laps. And he has been absolutely imperious. And celebrations all around, deservedly so. We see Christian Ho just in the background there. A wonderful job. A driver who came in halfway through last season. And there we see the signpost. Theophile Nael, the 2023 Spanish Formula 4 champion. Congratulations to him and to Sainteloc Racing. And for Sainteloc Racing, it's they've really had one driver on it this year. Luciano Morano and Theo Jensen, Nael's teammates, really have not been on par with him so far this season, but it matters not a jot. And he celebrates with the board with his car. His forefinger outstretched, signifying number 1. And it was a fantastic start for Christian Ho. Fending off Enzo Deligny right at the start, but Deligny just kind of went backwards afterwards. He had a challenge from Rinicella. As we see Noah Lyle getting busy with Pedro Claro. And Rinicella, and there you see Stromstead on the restart after the safety car challenging Nael. But this was the real change. This is Rinicella diving through on Deligny, and then later that lap, Deligny going wheel to wheel with Nael and losing out the podium position. Went from 2nd down to 4th in half a lap. And that is where he finished. He still won the rookie race, did Deligny, with the player who was 6th overall. 2nd in the rookie standings. And waiting now for the podium celebrations. I'm not entirely sure if there's going to be any kind of a trophy handed out, or if it is something that may be held over until tomorrow. But I think we're going to get an interview with either Christian Ho or Theophile Nael in a few moments' time. Or maybe not. Lots of action on this weekend. You just see the top 10 on screen. Go from Rinicella, Nael, then Deligny 4th, ahead of Stromstead with Tapeo 6th. Riccardo Grazia solid in 7th, ahead of Hiyu Yamakoshi. Noah Lyle, 2 points for him, while Chiana Alazzari taking home a point for MP Motorsport. Sarazan just outside the top 10, as was Lynn Hodinis, then Claro, Jensen, Cardenas, Absakava, Gomez, good finish, while Janae came home 18th, and the rest of the finishes there. Podium. Well, this interview with the champion.
Amazing season from the beginning to the end. How do you feel?
Well, yeah, just super happy. It's just amazing. We are a young team. We just have won a really tight championship with some big team like Campos or MP. So just thanks to all the team. this team is just incredible, and I hope continue with them in the future. And yeah, just thank you.
So now, what do you expect for tomorrow?
Oh, race 2 will be difficult because I did a mistake in my second lap in my quali, so I will do my best. And for race 3, I will focus in the Q2, and I will do my best. But now I think I will enjoy all the laps.
Enjoy tomorrow.
Thank you.
Congratulations to the 2023 Spanish Motorsport champion, Enzo Deligny. We may have another interview with the race winner, Christian Ho, shortly. What I can tell you this moment in time is that the new championship standings, Nael is the champion on 296 points. Second is Christian Ho with 242. Valerio Rinicella is now up to third in the standings to 229. He has jumped Enzo Deligny, who has 225. Then there's a long gap. The Matteo De Peo with 153. He has a 12-point advantage over Pedro Clarot, who is sixth with 141. Noah Stromstedt seventh with 123. Then Andres Cardenas, the rookie, is eighth in the standings with 105. Keanu Alatzari is ninth in points with 92, while Alex Ninovic remains 10th in the standings with 52 points. And that's was the overtake, of course, between Luciano Morano. I do believe it was Jesse Carrasquado and Filippo Frontino in the gravel, which I do believe maybe what brought out the red flag in the end. It was so close to the end of the race. A safety car would have just ended the race behind the safety car. So it looks as if the decision may have been made to end the race a couple of laps early, which it really would have made no difference because the race would have been neutralized anyway, but they couldn't keep on racing with Fiorentino's car beaching the gravel like that. It was too close to the edge of the circuit. And at this level, there's no point taking silly risks. As we see the Euro Cup 3 racers ready to go out for their race in a few moments' time. And we're waiting for a podium. Will we see the champion receive his trophy now? Lots of hustle and bustle down in the paddock. And of course we have two races tomorrow. And I'm going to find out what they are for you. So tomorrow for Spanish F4, qualifying 2 you can catch on the Spanish F4 website. It should have live timing. That is 9 o'clock Central European Time, 8 a.m. if you're in the UK. Race 1, 25 minutes plus 1 lap, will get it going from 11:05 on the continent. That's 10:05 in the UK. And race 3, 30 minutes plus 1 lap, the final race of the season, will get away 1:45 on the continent tomorrow. That is 12:45 if you are in the UK. You see the Euro Cup 3 racers pulling onto their grid. And another view of the circuit. We do hope to get the podium in before this finishes out. And we see the sights around Montmello. Of course, we're about 20 miles or so, 20 kilometers or so outside of Barcelona. And yes, we do get a podium. Wonderful, wonderful. And it is the champion. It is Theophile Nael bringing his championship board onto the podium. Celebrating, and why not? Valerio Rinicella, second in the race, now third in the point standings. And it is a race winner today and fastest lap winner to Christian Ho. A clear second in the standings, but he'll have to fight off Rinicella and Deligny to keep that. And we'll hear the national anthem of Singapore. And that is the national anthem for the race winner, Christian Ho. Thank you very much for watching today's race, a race we've seen Theophile Nael win the 2023 Spanish Formula 4 Championship. We'll be back tomorrow for the final two races of the season. Do not forget to join us at 11 a.m. on the continent, 10 a.m. on the UK for race 2. That is tomorrow. My name's been Leo Gorman. Thank you very much for watching. Until then, goodbye.